So Terence, lovely to have you here. It's a lovely evening actually, you know. You are here and Javed Hamid, who used to be in Cambridge with them. The year that Javed went for Christmas to Idana, Javed Hamid went with him. And they both remember the wonderful time they had. They haven't forgotten it. It was almost magical. And so I'm so glad they've all been, the Shocker, Javed and Idana here together. And congratulations on this book. You know, a couple of years ago, I remember we were sitting having dinner and we were talking about, I was telling Idana, I said, Idana, why didn't you write about your uncle, Emilio? You know, the information you'll have, nobody else in the world will know. So write about him. And she kept quiet. Maybe she was thinking about it and didn't want to disclose it at that time. I don't know. But now finally the two of you together have written. And yes, I mean, you know, nobody knew about the site before the war. During the war, what he was, his life. So look forward to reading it. And it's amazing, you know, for a husband and wife to write together. It's quite a challenge. But Idana explained how you both worked it out, and amazing. And you know, you are also so imaginative. You've written, and of course, you know, you're also as sensitive as Idana is, because a book of yours about Iran, and going all the way, your parents wanted to go back and look for your butler. And so, you know, who does this? These are very sensitive things, you know, to be able to cherish and people who work for you, make them a part of your family. These are very, very, very important qualities. So I look forward to that. Now tell me about yourself.
Marina, you look so beautiful this evening.
Oh, you make me feel good.
Younger than ever before. And it's always such a pleasure. Your luminous presence has asked a question. And let me answer it by saying this. To write a book like this could never have happened if we just had to imagine the past, to imagine what Emilio thought, to imagine where he went, to make up things, which is what many biographers do. What happened and the trigger for all of this was that during COVID we discovered that there was a CIA report that Emilio had written in 1945. And the CIA report was his recounting of his entire adventure during the war, smuggling the most important documents of the Second World War out of Mussolini's Italy, with Hitler chasing him and delivering them into the Allied hands in Switzerland. So with this report, we were able to let him tell the story. And that's how all of it came together. There's both our account, but more importantly, that's his words, him speaking to you directly. So when you open up these pages and you read his words, you are put in his shoes. And when he speaks about his anguish, about his attempts of suicide, about being tortured by the Gestapo, about the crisis that his country went through, you feel it through his eyes. And that's how we were able to write the book. It just received a very good review, which had in the review words like thrilling, like fast-paced, like propulsive. And what that means is that it takes you and pulls you along. And the second piece, very important, is that all of this happened before he even knew he was going to be a fashion designer. All of this is an untold history. And for us, the only way to do it properly was to read it out loud back and forth to each other. So this is a story, when you start to read it, it pulls you along because you can hear the voice. And that, I think, is the most important thing in writing. Because if you hear the voice, you're pulled along.
Absolutely.
And the minute
you know, you are married to Idana.
Yes.
And you are in the family. You're
yes.
I mean, you know, who else would have the inside
Very much.
Absolutely.
Very much.
Amazing.
So there's so many elements that have never appeared in any book, will never appear in any book. There are so many family secrets, family details that no author could have made up or even understood. So it's we think that it may not only sell very well, but it could well be a movie, and that's where Marina will be starring.
Oh, that'll be lovely.
in a role that we haven't yet developed.
Oh. Yeah, but
we'll
no, I think immediately people will.
Yeah.
But these names, they catch.
Yes, they catch.
And absolutely.
And his especially, because he was fearless, with color, with wonderful style, and so many women. I mean, look at the vulgarity of fashion today. And the question always is, well, when was it light? When did women really feel free and independent? Well, he was one of the few who changed that from tight silk girdles and all of those French fashions before the war. After the war, he opens it up, and young women can feel free, independent, express themselves,
beautiful cuts,
and feel beautiful. So it's all embedded inside this novel, but there's a very terrifying, very thrilling adventure story at the beginning. As the war breaks out and Emilio has to go and fight. And he and his brother joined the Air Force because they
You mean his father?
Yes. They both joined the Air Force as pilots because they knew that it was the quickest way to die.
Oh my God.
Every Italian soldier who went off in that war thought they were not coming back. And so it's also about what happens when your country is taken over by a very insane leader, by a man who decides he wants to fight this war. And in many ways, it helps you understand how Mussolini came to power is exactly the same way how Trump came to power. So somehow there's a foreshadowing of past and current events. And so that's very important because we all know how things ended in Italy after the war, and it was total devastation. And that is a warning sign for the young American readers who will pick it up today.
Actually, it's everywhere, even in Europe if you see it,
Of course.
I mean, everywhere there's this new trend that's coming.
Yes.
Probably it happens after every 50 years or what, I don't know.
Yes.
And the politicians are also looking for issues to go forward.
And to divide.
But that's only, if you don't have an enemy, you have no politics.
And if you can't find an enemy outside your country.
Exactly.
Because now Russia, he's in bed with the Russians, he's in bed with all of these corrupt countries.
And in the end, in the process, people are making so much money.
And in the end, he has to find an enemy within the country.
Totally.
And that is exactly where we are.
Exactly.
He has pointed his finger at half the country and said, you are not patriots, you're all enemies. And he's going to war against his own people, which is what's called the Civil War. And I happen to believe that the original Civil War has not ended. It just had a pause of 150 years. And now we're in the second reiteration of the Civil War. The Ku Klux Klan have taken the White House and they're breaking everything. Well, Mussolini did the same in Italy. And that also is part of the story of the book. What is it like to be a young man growing up with this total change? And so I think for all readers, it'll be an interesting journey from darkness into light.
Darkness into light, yes.
And from black and white into color.
Yes.
And that is what everybody loves. Italy, the Italy everybody loves, happened after Mussolini, after the disaster. So that is also very special
I love your observations. Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, now tell me a bit about your Iran, because that was also just before the revolution, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit of that.
The book, I wrote a book called Searching for Hassan because having grown up in Iran for 10 years, we had a wonderful rapport with a gentleman from outside of Isfahan. His name was Hassan, and he was a caretaker, he was our gardener, he was also the cook in our house. And this affection that we had was so deep that even after the revolution, when we had lost all trace of Hassan, had no idea where he was, my mother decided she was going to go back and search for this family. And that began a whole journey.
Just before the revolution, was it?
We left before the revolution, and this is now 20 years after the revolution.
You went back 20 years after the revolution to find Hassan?
Yes, to search for Hassan. And the whole story, of course, revolves around the greater history of greater Iran and this incredible civilization that we also came into contact with flying into Shiraz at the beginning. Everybody telling us we were mad, but arriving at Persepolis, arriving at Takht Jamshid, the famous throne of Jamshid, and really the story also charts the history of Iran as a civilization. It shows the human face of Iran. It shows the wonderful hospitality of the Iranian people. It shows another face of the Iranian people, a very positive face, a very loving face that, quite frankly, when I wrote the book, no one was writing about the humanity that one discovers there. And many Iranians were very grateful, very happy for this story. But I'm going back very soon, perhaps in June, to find Hassan again, and
he must be in his late 80s or something,
and to say goodbye.
Aww.
Yeah, and so we hope to do a documentary.
So how many years were you in Iran?
I was there 10 years.
Okay, your father was working there.
Yes,
what was he doing there?
He was an economic advisor to the National Iranian Oil Company's investment corporation that was setting up small businesses with joint ventures. They would identify businesses, offer them extra funds so that they then could expand. So whether it was a ceramic factory or whether it was a plastics industry, how to sort of increase their production with more funding so that they could expand and develop the local economy instead of relying on imports that the Shah was always pouring into the country. But that's what my father was doing. He was never involved in the State Department. There were many spies running around, as you can imagine, but he was clean.
Good. I like you. That's why. Yeah. Your three brothers.
Yes.
Grew up there.
Yes. All of my brothers grew up there. We speak Farsi between each other, and we have deep.
And originally, where are you from?
Originally, I was born in Colorado, but I have an Irish father. I have an Irish passport, which I must say is probably the best passport I have.
And your mother?
And my mother was born in Kansas.
So you're American?
She's like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay. But I mean, it's amazing.
Yes.
I mean, how you adapt to the East.
Yes.
How you go to Iran, you become an Iranian.
Yes.
Now you married an Italian,
yes.
and you become totally Italian.
I speak Italian.
How amazing is that? And you come to America and you become American.
Well,
that is really the way to be. That be a citizen of the world and adapt and be easy and enjoy life wherever you go.
I totally agree.
How amazing!
I used to, as a young child, I thought, what is my dream? What dream could I have? And this came upon me that if I was flying in an airplane and fell out of the airplane with a parachute, every country, any country, wherever I landed, I would feel at home.
Yes. I tell you, there's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
All the prejudices that people live with, and all the polarization and the hatred we develop within each other.
We're all one
It is just, I know, and you become toxic yourself.
Of course.
Nothing else. I mean, you
of
just,
course.
I think I don't know why you damage yourself more than anybody
Of course.
else. But anyway.
But that's the tool of authoritarian rule, to pit people against each other.
Exactly.
So that they're divided, and in that division they can be conquered and
Exactly.
manipulated. And you know, we're too wise for that. Evolution. Life is about evolution. It's about rising up above. It's understanding, putting yourself in other people's shoes. I mean, please, can we learn to do that? Just as soon as you're about to think about something negative about another person, just try and put yourself in that person's shoes.
Totally.
Try and understand their culture. Try and understand their world. And there is no way you can think any differently. We're all one.
You shouldn't think differently, but they are thinking.
This is what Hafez always said. We are all from the same family.
Yeah.
Saidi.
We
the
keep
famous-
saying that, but it's politics also very emotional.
Yes.
So it drags you. It
Yes.
drags you into all those areas where you should not be.
Exactly.
Really.
Exactly. And every faith will tell you
Yeah.
we are all from the same family. We're all united. So if all the faiths say that, then
But then the
it's
same
only
people who-
only the devils who
But then they win.
manipulate.
Yeah, but the devils seem to be winning because
We do.
We
I
are all
agree.
talk about religion. We are all
agree.
saying the same thing.
I agree.
But then when it comes to act,
I agree.
something happens to us
I
and
agree.
we change. This was a lovely conversation, Terence.
Thank you.
Lovely, lovely conversation. Every time it's wonderful talking to you, and I love that blue band gala, as we would call it.
I wore it for you
Stunning.
tonight.
Yes, this is Italian,
Thank you
of
so
course.
much. Yes.
And we look forward to many more.
Lovely.
And wish you the best with this book.
Yes.
Searching for Hassan did very well.
Yes.
That was another.
Very well. And this one,
that was
there
Iran,
will
this
be
is
a movie.
Italy.
This
Yes.
will be a movie very
It will.
soon.
And I'm sure people are going because they relate to it.
Yes.
Yes. Lovely. Thank you.